Whether new shooter, longtime gun owner, or even police officer or soldier, your handgun needs a Crimson Trace laser sight or light. Get the confidence and reliability you need to protect family, home, and country. Crimson Trace.
This week on Gun Talk, Tom is broadcasting from the Ruger booth at the 143rd NRA Annual Meetings and Exhibits at the Indiana Convention Center in Indianapolis. Now, from the Ruger booth at NRA, here's Tom.
That man right in front of us right now is a legend in shooting.
Absolutely.
Is this true? Lone Twigger right here. Mm-hmm. This man is an absolute legend in rifle shooting right there. Yeah, you did. This is the man. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Gun Talk. Tom Gresham here. We are on the floor at the NRA annual meeting. This is what you get. You get somebody walks by, and when we say legend, we're not kidding. The man is a legend. We're joined by Kirsten Weiss. I'm sorry. Yep. He came up, hugged your neck. Tell people who that just was, who just came up here.
Well, that's Lone Twigger. He's won countless medals, probably the most medaled athlete in the history of the U.S., and it's definitely for shooting. I mean, he's won world championships, everything.
And coach.
Yeah. He works at the U.S. Olympic Center now.
Yes, he has produced winners as well as being a winner himself.
Yep, absolutely.
So, I mean, when you in rifle shooting, when you say his name, people just stop. It's like, oh, yeah. I mean, he is the man.
Yeah, absolutely.
He really is.
He still is. He's still a good shooter.
And you are very well on your way to being the woman in shooting. So you have won zillion. I'm looking at this list. It goes on for 3 pages of stuff you have won. Small bore, shooting all over the place. How did you get into this?
Actually, that's a funny story. My parents, guns have always been. It's always been a gun-friendly family. But actually, my mom was working with another lady at the school, my school, volunteering, and they wanted to work on a banquet after school, and so we met at the gun club instead, just because the other lady's son would train there.
Right.
And so I tried it out while they were talking, and I came back out, and she's like, "Do you like this?" And it's weird too, because it wasn't just regular shooting. We were strapped up in these leather jackets, and we were shooting these space age looking guns. And she's like, "What is this?" Because that is not what we were used to. And she's like, "Do you like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And it just snowballed from there. You know, they said that I was one of the most natural shooters they've had, and they've had Olympians go through. Jamie Gray is actually from the club that I used to train with.
Right.
And Lonnie Miley was also a gold medalist. She picked me up at Camp
Barcelona Olympics.
Yep.
Lonnie, yeah.
Went to NCAA with her and under her, and then got onto the national development team, went to world championships. It's just I've been very blessed.
What is it about, you shooting small bore, right?
Air rifle and small bore are my specialties.
Okay. What is it about those that appeal to you? Is it the precision?
It is, and it's shooting for me and for a lot of people is more than just slinging lead down range.
Absolutely.
It's the whole experience of it, the flow, the zen, the mastering something, and then you can master other things in your life.
It's 98% mental.
Yeah,
it's all between your ears.
It absolutely is. It's just like balancing on a knife edge. You know, you go one way, a little off balance, and you might miss a 10 by like a quarter millimeter, not even a quarter, like one little millimeter. Yeah.
Lonnie told me a story I have to share with you because you'll appreciate this. Talk about the zen of being she was actually shooting at Barcelona. They were using, I think, the acoustic targets, and they came up to her, and it was very new at the time. And she was shooting prone, and they came up to her and said, "We have a problem. It has not registered your last 2 shots."
Oh, my gosh.
And she just looks up at them. She says, "It's okay. They're all going in the same hole."
Yeah.
And they were.
Yep.
You know, don't you, when they're doing that?
Yeah, that's just that you're dialed in there.
Yeah. And you also know when it's not. When you're not having that day.
Yep.
Now, you're working a lot with kids these days, encouraging youngsters to get into competitive shooting.
Yep.
What are you doing with that?
And new shooters in general. But right now, I started a YouTube channel about 6 months ago in September.
Right.
And I did that because I wanted to show the positive reality of shooting. And there was too much, in my opinion, there was too much fear on both sides, anti-gunners and people who are of the gun like we are.
Right.
But there was too much focus on criminals and fear and everything. And I said, that's not what most people think about when they go to the range. They go and they have fun, and it's camaraderie, it's friends and family and everything. So I started a YouTube channel that has performance shooting and shooting games and just the fun challenge and joy of shooting.
So how do people find your YouTube channel?
It's my name, so youtube.com/Kirsten Joy Weiss, Kirsten Joy, and then Weiss, Weiss.
Just so look for that channel on YouTube.
Yep.
How often are you doing videos?
I try to post one every week, but I'm more of a shooter than a video and editor, so it takes a very long time.
And now that you're a homeless nomad shooter, you're telling me, so where do you live? She says, well, that's not an easy question to answer.
No. Like we said earlier, have gun will travel.
You are actually just traveling and shooting now, aren't you? Throughout the entire American West.
Yep, and meeting amazing people.
How does that work? What do you do? I mean, you just... well, part of it, you know how it works? And people need to know, there is a community of shooters, isn't there?
Yes, yeah.
And you tap into that, and you have a place to stay. I'm just guessing. You have not told me this, but I'm guessing you have a place to stay. You have people to call. You have this community of competitive shooters and people in the industry and just people you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And even, I mean, I've been socked away in the competitive world for probably 11 years, but I've branched out into the industry, and it's just so amazing being a part of the gun community in a bigger way, because everyone is top notch, really.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
You're 28. All of 28.
You made me say that on air?
I did make you say that.
On air?
That's right. Now, if I had suspected you were in your 30s, I wouldn't have asked. But I said, nah, she's a kid. Okay, I know at 28 you don't think of yourself as a kid. You're actually, at this point, you become very much a veteran shooter.
Yeah, yeah.
But the great part is, in competitive shooting, you can do that forever.
Your whole
it seems
life,
like.
as long as your back holds up. It's hard on our backs, like the offhand position, because we get into this funky hip kicked out.
And you're supporting this rifle in a cantilevered position, which is bad for your back and all that. Yeah.
But most, I mean, there are like 9-year-old men that shoot prone matches, and I mean, to be honest, sometimes they're so still because they're so well trained, and they stay so still when they're moving that bolt.
Are they still alive?
Are they breathing? You worry.
Somebody put a mirror under his nose. See if that guy's still breathing over there.
It's a good way to go, though, I guess.
But the oldest person to win a gold medal in the Olympics was a shooter. He was in his 80s.
No, I did not know that.
Yes, he was in his 80s.
That's amazing.
So, if you could stand there and pull the trigger, you can do it. Which, talk about your lifetime sports.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect. And it just helps you with your whole life as well. I mean, the things you learn in shooting and the benefits that you get from that can be applied to your entire life.
People think you're blowing smoke when you say that. I've said that for years. And I always tell them, look, you go hang around a bunch of young people who are serious competitive shooters, and you will find some of the most disciplined people. One of the things that happens is, and you know this, when you're a young competitive shooter and you can get a scholarship in shooting, but a lot of times the scholarships, you only get like a half scholarship for the shooting, but competitive shooters can almost always get an academic scholarship also.
Exactly, yeah.
Because they're focused. It's part of the whole package.
Yeah, and as an athlete, and when you go through high school or college or whatever, it helps you. I think athletes in general are more focused because they have to manage their time.
Good point.
So I think that in high school, when you're trying to get to matches, to train up and all that stuff, you're also trying to get good grades, hopefully, some people. and it just, you learn those skills right away, and you're prepared for college. And then hopefully you get a college scholarship.
Kirsten, tell people how they can follow you, where you are. Where are you all? I know you're on YouTube.
YouTube, I'm on, and it's all my name. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I just started Instagram and Twitter, so give me a little break there. But,
and it's Kirsten,
but definitely Facebook.
Kirsten, Joy Weiss, Weiss. Just put that in. You can even just Google it, and you'll find
Absolutely,
find you right there.
Yep. And I'm also on Team Lapua, so if people go on their website, they can find me under the U.S. team.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Keep up the good work, and I really appreciate what you're doing and bringing people into shooting.
Thank you, Tom.
It's a great thing. All right, don't go far. We'll be right back. This is Gun Talk, and I am Tom Gresham.
You already know Liberty safes are great values. Now they're offering an even sweeter deal for Gun Talk listeners. At LibertySafe.com, click on the Fat Boy Safe and type in Tom. Liberty will give you up to $250 off your purchase. Protect the things you value most. LibertySafe.com. Click the Fat Boy Safe. Promo code TOM. Save up to $250. That's LibertySafe.com. LibertySafe.com.
TopGunSupply.com carries a large selection of fine firearms and accessories. Get all the parts you need for your Sig Sauer, HK, and Glock pistols. Grips, screws, recoil springs, sights, barrels, magazines, holsters. The list goes on. Our knowledgeable sales staff, professional service, great prices, and super fast shipping are here to help you. Check us out today. TopGunSupply.com. TopGunSupply.com.
Have you ever held a Walther? Walther handguns are an extension of your hand. From the moment you hold the ergonomic grip of a Walther, you feel the difference. Today, Walther continues its long tradition of expertise in firearm design with the introduction of 3 incredible new handguns: the smooth PPQ-M2, the tough PPX, and the cool PPKS-22. Log on now at waltherarms.com. Walther at your favorite retailer.
You may be a new shooter, a longtime gun owner, or even a police officer or soldier. No personal defense handgun is fully equipped without a Crimson Trace laser sight or light. Get the confidence and reliability you need to protect family, home, and country. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com for a free copy of our new laser training video, The Laser's Edge, Crimson Trace.
From the blind or the boat, the only ammunition choice for waterfowlers is Black Cloud. Federal Premium Ammunition uses cutting-edge technology, combining flight stopper steel with premium steel for the ultimate in waterfowl patterns. Black Cloud uses the flight control wad, getting shot to the target faster with increased energy, devastating on ducks and geese. Black Cloud. Drop ducks like rain.
Gun Talk is broadcasting from the NRA meetings in Indianapolis. And now, again, from the Ruger booth on the show floor, here's Tom.
Okay. All right, back with you here. Tom Gresham, it's Gun Talk. We are at the NRA annual meetings here. We just had a great time. Kirsten, thank you so much. It was really fun. We love having a chance to talk with all the folks here, talk about what we're seeing. One of the things we're getting is lots of stories. Just had somebody come up and say, hey, I just had a True Squad success story for you. And, of course, this is the Gun Talk True Squad out there, people who have pledged to speak up when they see or hear misinformation out there. Well, a little town, the mayor suddenly appears on Bloomberg's Illegal Mayors Against Guns website. And so he writes them and says, hey, guys, what's this all about? And they said, well, we don't know. Turns out that the Bloomberg group just is signing mayors up without the mayors even knowing about it. How's it going? So they said, well, we're working on getting our name off of this list. But just gives you an idea. I don't know if you caught it earlier. We had Mike Pfeiffer on from Ruger. He's the CEO. He told a story I had never heard about. The folks at NPR took an interview that Mike did with Cam & Company. Took Mike's voice and edited it into an interview so it sounded like he was being interviewed by NPR. And so the NPR person would ask a question and then they would play Mike answering it, but he was never interviewed by NPR. They made the whole thing up. Now, I always thought that NPR was, okay, they're a little bit left, but I always thought they were fair and had good journalism and all of that. So, but evidently not. It was very disappointing. So that's just one of those stories that pops up. You go, wow, that is really eye-opening. Tell you what, we are joined right now by Chris Calloy. He is the new president of Ruger Firearms. How you doing, man?
Good, Tom. How are you?
Well, I am good. I pulled you out of a meeting back there. And,
that's all right.
Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes not so much.
Right.
I don't know, but it works out. What are you seeing? What's going on? What's your sense of people coming in? What do you...
Well, I mean, so far we're just delighted with the turnout here at the NRA show. I mean, I think the attendance figures are going to really blow past their early expectations, and of course the Ruger booth is always a big hit, and we're just delighted to talk to our real customers. We spend a lot of time at trade shows, talking to retailers, talking to our wholesalers, but the NRA show is most important to us because we're talking to the real customer.
Two things I'm seeing in the folks who are around here. One is that the level of knowledge of the people walking around here is incredible. They know your product. They know Rugers. They know guns. They're shooters. But the other thing is you've got a whole new batch of people buying guns now. And they are hungry for information, aren't they?
Absolutely. You're right. It's really a whole spectrum of folks that come through. We have some folks that own 20, 30, 40 Rugers,
right,
and want to talk about some of the things that are peculiar. They've changed with the Model 77 over the years, a tang safety or what have you.
Right.
Then we have brand new shooters looking to say, what do you recommend for a first gun or a second gun?
Right.
And one of the things we've seen with a lot of people who've gotten into shooting lately, both male and female, in addition to acquiring a firearm for personal protection, now they're saying I can go to the range and I'm going to have some fun with some guns, and I'm going to look at maybe a 10-22, a Mark III pistol, or one of our SR-22 pistols.
Right. And
they want to spend more time at the range and not only training for a defensive scenario, but also to have some fun.
So I've seen that a lot. People who they get into it through the self-defense door. That's their gateway, if you will.
Right.
They go out, take a lesson, take the concealed carry class, and they go, well, this is fun. I didn't actually know this was going to be fun.
Right.
And then they go, well, I want to shoot more. And they say, well, what else can I do? And then all of a sudden it's like in The Wizard of Oz when everything went from black and white to color. and all of a sudden it's like, wow, there's a whole world out here. I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe
this gun world. And you're going, this is so cool.
Right.
And now they're coming in the booth and say, well, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
What else is new? What else is fun? And there's a lot of platforms that we have that, you can have some, are inexpensive to shoot with 22 caliber. Of course,
right.
You have to find it at the store right now. We'll work through that. But there's a lot of guns like whether it's an MSR that you could like RSR 5.56,
right,
or all the way down to a 10-22 is like a small block Chevy. You can make it into anything you want.
Holy cow! No kidding. You got the 50th year anniversary 10-22, which is a very cool configuration of that. One of the things I wanted to mention to people is that they may not know is that you have more guns than you actually put out in your catalogs because your distributors will have special runs of guns that have very cool features.
Absolutely. On our website, we have a section of the website dedicated to distributor exclusives. And you can see what's out there. We try to keep that current. We do a lot of exclusives every year. And, some of those with individual distributors. A lot we do with a group of distributors called TALO. TALO is an acronym it's an old acronym for Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma.
But it's bigger than that now.
It's bigger than that now and includes our distributors from all around the country. And they'll put their resources together to do a special makeup 10-22 where they might do 1,000 or 2,000 guns,
right,
and spread it out amongst those Ruger distributors.
And one of the things that's really cool about that is if you want to go to the range and have a gun that other people don't have, which we all do, we want to pull one out in there. What's really cool is when you take a gun out of the case or out of the gun rag, and people stop and look and go, "What is that? Where'd you get that?" And you go, okay, that's cool, because they just look,
right.
They notice my gun. And you've got different colors and finishes and configurations that are not standard. And a lot of times, like you mentioned, they are limited runs.
They are. And sometimes they're not. Some are capped. We'll do a certain amount. It might be limited to 1,000 guns or commemorative or something like that. But then other times it's more, how does that demand hold up over a year or multiple years?
Right. I mean, I was just looking, just as an example, I went on the Ellipses website. They've got a number one in 257 Roberts. One of my favorite calibers.
Right.
You got to go, okay, that's cool. The thing I would offer also is that if you go there and you see one that you really like, you would be well advised to go ahead and do it, because next year it may not be available.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things with, it's both good and bad. It can frustrate people because they find out about it sometimes after the fact,
right,
and maybe they don't get a chance to get it. But also, it's one of those things that if it's limited, there's potential for collectability, and things of that nature.
But at least you're probably not going to see it at the range, which makes it, gives it some cool factor.
Right, and you're right about the range. I mean, sometimes it's, when you pull out that that gun for the first time, and you're the one there, and you show it to your buddies at the range, that's makes it all worthwhile.
It's like somebody admiring your car or whatever, and you pull your gun out, and everybody just goes, "What is that?" You go, "Yeah, okay, it was worth it right there. I just paid for it. That's good enough."
And they say, "Why do you need that?" Well, I don't need it. I just wanted it.
That's right. Thank goodness need has nothing to do with that. Because if it did, we would only have like 3 guns, and that would be all. And that's not going to. That'll never do.
Exactly.
We can't do that. So, I mean, you guys are in like all the spaces now. The Red Label is back.
Right.
You got the over and under, which is like one of the great shotguns of all time. Got the 12 gauge, 20 gauge sometime.
It's coming. It'll be sooner rather than later.
Okay.
So we're not ready to release it just yet. We want to make sure we've got it right and make sure we've got some decent numbers out there.
Right.
It's tough trying to keep that Red Label demand is very, very strong.
Sure.
For an American-made over and under, priced right, and with Ruger quality and
for those who don't know, the price has actually come down on it.
It has.
It was like somewhere around $2,000 in that ballpark before.
Right, and what we did was we took that design and kept the design, but made it much more manufacturable. We took our engineers, went through the investment casting process, the machining process, and got something that was easier to get through the factory. Now, unfortunately, with the demand, we've been pleasantly surprised, I guess, but we're still struggling to keep up with the demand for the Red Label.
Right. And people will be able to see that. We shot a entire Gun Talk television show. We went out to Flint Oak in Kansas, and we were shooting pheasants and some chuckers with the 12, and we actually got a prototype of the 20 out there. It was very, very difficult for me to let them take that back. I really wanted to hold on to that gun. That is so sweet.
It swings nice. It shoots nice. Yep.
Yeah,
it really is.
But the new Red Label it's not just as good. It's better than the old gun.
It's definitely better. It's definitely better.
The balance is better. The balance was always good, but I think the balance is even better.
Balance is better. We looked at the stock. We looked at comb. We really went back and looked at what do we do over the years that people kind of accepted in the Red Label,
right?
And said, let's fix these now. And there were some nagging issues from that you'd see with problems in the field.
And they gave you a chance to fix those.
Exactly.
Chris, thank you so much. We appreciate your hospitality. You're letting us hang out in your booth here. This is very cool.
We love having you here.
And we get to. People say, "Well, you get to go there and talk guns." I said, "No, we always talk guns. That's all we ever do when we see each other."
That's right.
So good stuff at Ruger. Ruger.com if people want to know about it.
Exactly. Ruger.com, and for any of our accessory products, it's shopruger.com.
All right, you can buy those accessories, magazines, that kind of stuff right there off the website. All right, very good. All right, everybody, don't go far. We're coming right back in just a minute. We're at the Ruger booth.
Tom Gresham's Gun Talk is broadcast nationwide every Sunday. If you can't hear Gun Talk where you live, call your local talk format station and clue them in on Gun Talk. Stay tuned. We're coming right back. Now broadcasting nationwide on radio, via satellite, and through downloads, iTunes, the Gun Talk app, and other podcast clients. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right, we're back with you. Tom Gresham here. It's Gun Talk. Don't forget, go to guntalk.com. You can check us out there. We have our videos over on YouTube. Look for the Gun Talk channel on YouTube. First Person Offender, great show about self-defense with guns. I mean, it is fabulous. In fact, we're going to start shooting second season of First Person Offender very soon. If you'd like to be involved in that, possibly, shoot us an email, info@guntalk.com, info@guntalk.com. Also, of course, always check out whatever contest we have going over at the website. It's guntalk.com/win. Never know what you're going to find over there. We're always giving away stuff. A lot of cool things. And also, of course, we have shopguntalk.com. We have DVDs of self-defense, concealed carry, fighting with the 1911. We've got books there. If you are interested in concealed carry, if you're getting into it, you're not sure that you know as much as you should, well, you know what? You probably don't know as much as you should if you have that feeling. So check it out. We have really good DVDs, seriously good, at shopguntalk.com. Now, we're on the floor of the NRA's annual meetings. It is crowded around here. I'm looking out at all the folks going by. And let me just tell you, as I'm cruising here, I'm in the Ruger booth. I lean out, and from the left I see Sig Sauer, Crimson Trace, Winchester, Browning, Taurus is right here in front of me. In fact, Laura Perry from Taurus is standing right next to me, and she said, no, I'm not going to be on the air with you. You never know. You might. We got Stoger, Timney Triggers, Springfield Armory over there, all kind of fun stuff going on. If you're not here, you should be. Here's the thing. The NRA annual meetings is more than annual meetings. It's this huge exhibit hall. Now, you can't buy stuff here. You can't buy guns. It's not that kind of a gun show. But you can see all the new stuff, and you can meet people like Rob Latham and Jessie Duff and Max Michelle from SIG and the Ruger girl who we just had on here. A little bit later, in fact, not very long from now, we're going to have, at least scheduled to be on, is Adam Vinatieri, the only place kicker to ever win 4 Super Bowl rings, which is pretty cool. So that's going to be fun. It's where we get together with all of our friends. So it's all good, as we say. Having a good time here. Look who just showed up here. Jessie, put this on if you would, please. Jessie Duff has just joined us. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Like 40-time champion shooter, won everything, beats everybody, does everything.
Oh, thank you.
So, and only in your second year of shooting now, right?
Yeah, I just got started.
Just amazing how that happens. How long have you been shooting?
I have been shooting, oh my goodness, I started when I was 15. So I believe this is my 13th season competing. I don't want to sit here and do the math. It'll make me sad.
Yeah, that's what you're going, no, I'm not that old. Yeah, well, it happens. So, what kind of shooting did you start with, and how have you progressed? What do you do?
I started in cowboy action shooting with my dad.
Right.
That's where he was competing at the time, and got into it with him. And from there, I transitioned into the more modern disciplines. I went to my first Steel Challenge match, and I saw all these crazy guns that you didn't have to cock the hammer yourself. And I said, that looks like a lot of fun.
This thing cocks itself. That's cool. Yeah, we liking that.
So I transitioned into Steel Challenge and the more modern disciplines like USPSA and multi-gun and Bianchi. And that's what I shoot now.
Yeah. And just for those who don't know, you did win Bianchi.
Yes, sir.
Which some people say is the hardest competition out there.
It is the hardest match that I shoot, but it's the most prestigious match that I shoot. And
what makes it so hard?
It's 100% accuracy based, and we're shooting, we have a tombstone-shaped target, but our goal is to hit the 4-inch X in the center.
Okay.
And we shoot that out to 50 yards, and then we shoot it at 25 yards moving back and forth.
Holy
so
cow.
It's extremely difficult. It's very challenging, but for me, it makes me such a better shooter, and everything that I learned from that match transcends to all the other disciplines I compete in.
Okay, that's an interesting idea. For people who want to be a better shooter, shoot harder targets.
Yes.
Shoot smaller targets.
That's one way. Smaller targets. And I mean, I'm not saying start with a 1-inch circle.
No, but
have a goal, and then as you achieve it and get better with that one, then make the target a little bit smaller. Or you can just push your target out to further distances.
Yeah, right.
Always challenge yourself, because if you shoot something that's super easy, that's the best you're going to be. You always, if I know I'm going to a match and say I know I'm going to have some 30-yard targets, I'm going to shoot those targets at 40 or 50 yards. That way, when I get to the match, it's easier, and I'm prepared.
It's like my wife was taking a class with Kay Clark. And
great instructor.
Yeah, and my wife had been shooting before. There's another group, and there's women who kind of shoot all over. My wife should shoot these nice little tight groups. And every time KK by, she'd pat her on the shoulder. She says, "That's real nice. Shoot faster."
Yep.
So if your groups are tight, speed up.
Exactly.
Until they blow out, and then they'll start getting smaller again.
And that's where you know where your edge is. And in all the other disciplines I shoot, speed is everything. You need to be accurate, but you got to be fast. So, people say, well, how do I get faster? Well, just push your limit. Find your ragged edge, and then back it off the hair.
Okay. A longer distance, smaller target, or faster?
Or faster, depending on what you're training for.
Okay. So where are we? And I'm going to go ahead and just do the obvious thing, because one of the things that's happened is we had this incredible event yesterday of the women's lunch here. Like 800 women in the industry. It's a whole different thing from just a very few years ago. There's an awareness on the part of women of shooting, self-defense, but also competition. From your standpoint, you're a professional competitive shooter.
Yes, sir.
What are you seeing out there in terms of women coming into competitive shooting now?
I'm seeing women, not just competitive shooting, but firearms in general. They are flocking to this industry, and I think it's such a wonderful thing that they are realizing it's not just a man's sport anymore, that women can get out there and compete and do just as well. And we're seeing a lot more women in competition shooting, but also in concealed carry licenses, buying firearms to protect themselves and empower themselves, and it's something that I believe is so wonderful.
can I get you to hold on for just a second? We're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to come back.
You got it.
I'm talking with Jessie Duff. We're at the Ruger booth here, and we're going to be talking about some of the guns that Jessie's been shooting when we come back. Tom Gresham at the NRA annual meetings.
Thinking about buying a modern sporting rifle? Well, now's the time with the Cold Spring Fever promotion. Right now, and for a limited time, when you buy any Colt Modern sporting rifle, you get a free Colt rifle case from Bulldog. Visit your local gun dealer or go to Colt.com/springfever to get more info. Buy any Colt Modern sporting rifle and get a free Colt rifle case from Bulldog. Go to Colt.com/springfever to get more information.
Brownells proudly celebrates 75 years of history and heritage as the world's first choice for firearms, accessories, ammunition, and gunsmithing tools. So whether you're a gunsmith in need of parts and supplies, a new shooter looking for the perfect holster, or a skilled competitor seeking the latest gear, Brownells has what you need. And best of all, every purchase comes with the industry's only forever satisfaction guarantee. Visit us at Brownells.com.
Tired of overpaying for one concealed carry holster after another that is flimsy, hard to hide, or just plain uncomfortable? At Alien Gear Holsters, less than $30 gets you a professional quality holster that's super stealthy and ultra comfortable. Every Alien Gear holster is backed by a forever warranty, a 30-day test drive, and free shell trades for life in case you buy a different gun. AlienGearHolsters.com. AlienGearHolsters.com.
Hi, this is Doug Koenig, professional shooter and winner of over 60 national and world championships. If you shoot an AR, you need to be running the new Sharps Reliabolt. This bolt is amazing. The Reliabolt was fired 7,500 consecutive times by an independent test facility, jam-free. If you need the peace of mind and safety of not worrying about a jam, then buy the Sharps Reliabolt. Sharps Reliabolt is available at srcarms.com and tell them Doug sent you.
The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle combines features of the Ruger American Rifle and innovations of the 1022 Rimfire Rifle to appeal to all bolt-action enthusiasts. It features a modular stock system that provides comb height options for scope or iron sight use, a power bedding integral bedding block system for outstanding accuracy, a Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, and a 1022 style rotary magazine for reliable feeding. The Ruger American Rimfire Rifle, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Thanks for being one of the 100 million gun owners in America who support Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. Even if you don't want to be on the air, you can still email Tom with your questions or concerns at tom@guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk.
All right, back with you here. Tom Gresham, it's Gun Talk. We are having a ball here at the NRA's annual meeting. We're talking with Jessie Duff, professional shooter, full-time professional shooter now,
yes,
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many matches do you shoot a year? Do you have any idea?
I usually have 12 to 15 matches a year.
Okay, and then how often do you shoot?
When I'm getting ready for a match, I will be on the range every day, Monday through Friday, usually Saturdays too, if I can find a local match to compete in. And that's every day about 2 weeks out from the match. So
that's got to be very depressing for local people when you show up at a local match. I mean, come on.
Oh.
I mean, you got to kick everybody's rear end.
No, I have the pleasure to shoot with some wonderful people at home, and they're always so welcoming when I come and can make it to the local matches, and just really, really supportive of what I'm doing.
That's great. Well, tell me what you're shooting these days.
Well, I'm shooting the Taurus 1911 in 9mm, and I shoot that with limited and open for Steel Challenge, Bianchi, Pro-Am championships, things like that.
Right.
And it's just such a wonderful platform to build my guns off of.
People don't understand how sweet a 1911 and 9mm
yes.
is. That like one of the best guns ever?
It absolutely is. And it is truly my favorite gun out of all the ones I compete with. It's like an extension of my hand.
It is so. And of course, the 1911, one of the nice things about it is you can customize it. It's the beauty of the platform.
It is.
You can have it fit your hand.
Yep.
But for those who think, no, the 1911's got to be a 45, let me just do you a favor.
Yep.
Shoot one in 9, run 2 mags through it, you'll be spoiled, right?
Absolutely.
They're so sweet. And what I hear, and I'd love to get your take on it, is that the 9s are actually more accurate.
You know, honestly, I don't know that I could answer that and give you a correct answer.
Okay.
I haven't used the 45.
Maybe it's that we shoot them better.
That's probably it. They're just easier, in my opinion, it's easier to control. You obviously have less recoil. Your sights aren't going to be moving as much.
Right.
But for example, my teammate, Alex Larsh, the junior shooter for Taurus Young Guns, he shoots the 45 and loves it and does well. And if you watch him shoot, it looks like he's shooting a 9. He handles it so well. So I think it depends on how comfortable you are with the firearms. They're both extremely accurate from what we use them for, and it's just going to be what you like to shoot.
Okay. Does the single stack aspect of it cause you any problems with any of the, or you're focusing on matches where the single stack works for you?
I use the single stacks where it's applicable. Some of the matches I need a bigger round count.
Sure.
But where like Steel Challenge or Bianchi, or if I shoot a Pro-Am match, I'm not needing more than 9 or 10 rounds. So it's perfect for those championships.
That's the other thing. You get an extra round in the 9.
Yes. That's what I like at Single Stack Nationals, where I'm competing next weekend with Alex. I'm using 9 38 Super Comp minor, where I can get the 2 extra rounds, where he's going to shoot 45 major, and that way he scores more points, but he'll have 2 less rounds. Right.
It's always a balance, isn't it?
It is, and it's a strategy. You have to figure out what works best for you.
Well, I was going to say, and the answer that's right for you is not the same one for somebody else.
Exactly.
So when you're shooting and you're training, you're getting ready for matches, how many rounds are you shooting in a day and a week?
I try not to shoot over 500 rounds a day. When I first started, I thought I had to be out there and I had to shoot as many rounds as I could squeeze in to feel like I was actually working and getting something done. But I learned how to practice smarter, not harder. And I realized that all those rounds downrange every day, by the end of it, I'm worn out physically and mentally.
It's a fatigue thing, and you're actually starting to drill bad habits.
I am. I'm reiterating bad habits. Yes. So I've cut it off. I don't shoot more than 500 rounds a day, and most of the times I don't even shoot that much. I'll get to 350 or 400 rounds. Depends on what I'm training for. But I'll try and stay right about 500. So.
Don't you find that for people who are out practicing, don't just throw rounds down range. Have a purpose for every round. Okay, what am I working on now? Am I working on my trigger? Am I working on my sights? Am I working on recovery? Am I working on whatever?
Yep.
Have a reason for pulling the trigger. Otherwise, don't pull the trigger.
Exactly. When you go to the range, have a purpose for what your practice is going to be. When I go, if I'm getting ready for a USPSA match, I'm going to say, today I'm working on my draws and reloads. And that's all I'm going to do. The next day, it might be movement. So I'm going to set up drills where I have to get moving across the range. But have a reason, have a specific thing you want to focus on, and then go do it. Don't just go waste ammo. One, it's too expensive nowadays.
Right.
And two, it's just having something to focus on will help your practice be better.
Exactly. And it's focus. I mean, it's funny. We say that and then let it go, but that really is what it's about. Mm-hmm. You're not really working on any kind of muscles. I mean, you're going to get that. What you're working on is that big muscle between your ears.
It is. And that's the hardest one to get right.
It is. That 6 inches between your ears, that's the hard part. And so you're working on it. It's focus, it's eyes. And it's the funny part. I mean, I talk to you guys who shoot competitively. Mm-hmm. You're seeing things that we don't see. You're reacting to things that we don't even know are there because it's happening so fast. Mm-hmm. Your eyes are going ahead to the next target. When we're lingering and seeing, did it fall down? If you wait to see if it falls down,
I'm late.
You're way too late. You got to move.
I'm behind.
That's right. You just got to say, okay, I know it's there or it's not. Either way.
I have to see the sights and trust what I'm seeing. If I, like you said, if I stand and wait for every still popper to fall, I'm so far behind. And I can't go off of what I hear either, because sometimes you'll hear it and it won't go down. So I have to trust what I see on the sights and be confident and move on.
Just keep moving. Well, that's where all that practice comes in, because you know, don't you, when you pull the trigger where the bullet's going?
9 times out of 10, I know, okay, that one's there or it's not, and can be fast enough to make it up. Everyone has their days where it's not on exactly how you want, but I try and, that's part of focusing and paying attention, is that when you break a shot, you know if it's there or not. That way, if you can make it up, you need to.
How can people follow what you're doing? You're online?
I am. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/Duff Shoot, I believe. Okay, and then I'm on Twitter as well at Jessie_Duff.
at Jessie_Duff, D-U-F-F.
D-U-F-F, that's right.
Okay, very good. So what's your next match?
My next match is Single Stack Nationals, and I'm actually taking my junior shooter teammate Alex as well. This will be his first time there.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Looking forward to it.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And I know people are going to want to follow you because you're sharing not only what you're doing, but also teaching tips, kind of that kind of a deal. So I wish you tons of luck with it.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hey, don't go anywhere. We're Gun Talk. I'm Tom Gresham. We'll be right back.
Join the NRA via Tom Gresham's Gun Talk website and receive $10 off the regular membership price. Log on to guntalk.com for details. You're listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk.
All righty, we are back with Tom Gresham. It's Gun Talk, and we're joined right now by 4 Super Bowl rings.
Yes, sir.
4 Super Bowl rings. The only kicker to ever get 4 Super Bowl rings out of Vinatieri. Thank you for joining us.
That's my pleasure to be here.
Well,
Thanks
I mean, obviously we could talk football all day long, but that's not what you're here to talk about. You talk about guns, man.
Yeah, this weekend, it's a great weekend. I'm so jacked up that the NRA convention is here in my home state, in my hometown this year. So had to be down here, had to come check out all the new product, hang out with my friends at SIG, and just do a little gun talk.
So you're over at SIG talking guns with people.
Yeah, hour today, hour tomorrow. Sign some autographs, say hello to a lot of us Hoosier, us Colt fans. Hopefully there's a lot of them around, and just check out all the guns.
So how'd you get into guns?
Born and raised in South Dakota, you didn't have much of a choice.
There you go.
I had a shotgun in my hand about the time I could start walking, shooting a lot of pheasants and ducks back there, and it just kind of escalated from there. I love big game hunting as well now. Indiana's got some of the best turkey and deer hunting in the country, in the world, and I'm fortunate enough to travel around the world a little bit and do a little bit of the other stuff too.
I did want to mention that you're letting these guys behind you hold your Super Bowl rings, and if you'd like those back, you got to go on eBay now.
There you go. I know. I know who I gave them to. They better not disappear. But I brought 2 of the 4. If you bring all 4, you're just bragging, I guess.
There you go. That's right. Why not? That's right. If you got it, use it. It's out there.
That's right.
So, what are you seeing? You got people coming in and talking to you. I know they want to talk football, but are they wanting to talk guns with you also?
Boy, I hope so. Indiana's one of those states that we have a lot of red-blooded Americans that love their Second Amendment right, the ability to have firearms, not only to protect their house and their family, but also to go out and do kind of the traditional things that we've always we've come to love, the hunting and the fishing and the outdoors and all that kind of stuff. So I think Indiana is one of the major states that support the NRA and our Second Amendment right, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Okay, I watched you yesterday. You're speaking in front of like a gazillion people out there, and I tell you what my impression was. This man needs to run for political office. So, would you vote for this man right here? Yeah, I guarantee you we would.
Well, good. Well, I got a couple supporters then. Great.
That's right.
It's just something I feel so strong about and very firm about it. And it's a little, it's different going out in front of 70,000 people and kicking a football. It's a little different than standing up there and giving a speech. But it's stuff that I'm very, very passionate about. And it just was very comfortable and easy for me to go up there and speak from the heart and tell everybody how I felt about it and what I stand for.
Well, you did it. It's like knocking a 60-yard field goal out there, man. You hammered it. It was right there.
Thank you. It was fun.
So, where are you going shooting next? What are you going to do?
Indiana still got the turkey season going on right now, and it started on Wednesday. Fortunately, that my job that I have that currently doesn't allow me. We're doing a lot of the off-season workout stuff now, so hopefully I can get out this next week and see about maybe whacking a bird if I can.
Sounds good. You're able to work in. You're busy in the fall, so that kind of interferes.
It is. It's a tough time to get out doing much hunting. About a Tuesday. Every other Tuesday I get to climb up a tree stand and try my luck, but it's tough. This time of year is when I get to do a lot of the destination hunting.
Adam, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. We love to see it, and I'm serious about. You might want to think about that political career. I think you can pull this off. You really do a good job with it, man.
Well, we'll talk about it when my football career is done.
There you go. Thanks so much. All right, Adam Vinatieri, thank you so much. All right, everybody, if you miss Gun Talk, you can always check it out. We're on. They got the podcast going. You can check it out with iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Go to guntalk.com. You can download it there. We're also on YouTube. You can pull it down there. See, we have 900 videos available for you everywhere. All right, everybody go out. Have a great time at the NRA show. I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk. See ya.